Here, what can
Oh,
you
now it's recording. If it's red here, it's recording.
Okay, so we're recording. Okay, if you're watching us on YouTube, we're just trying to set up for the show.
Chair a little closer.
And you know what? Maybe we should put Lydia in the middle since you have a. Okay, that's good. You have a door. Let's see. Are we all in? We're all in now.
There we go.
All
I
right.
can fit.
Good.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live broadcast for all our people on Facebook. So I just gotta put my hat on, put my
Got your
my
props.
glasses on. You know, I like my gray hair. I think I'm gonna just do the gray
Show
hair.
that
folks.
gray hair off.
Today I'm gonna do the gray hair, folks. So no hat. I have a T-shirt that says Janet Jackson for Kids Foundation. I'll show that in a minute.
Woohoo! Oh, that's a nice shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually did meet Jana. on
Did you meet
Saturday.
Jana?
Yeah, she's
Good.
super nice.
Hi, Jana, if you're watching us.
I met Jana. And,
Okay, now.
Oh, you know what? That's cool. Okay, so it came up on my phone. This is a neat thing. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, what will happen is it'll alert you so that you'll know we're broadcasting live. And it just
Oh,
comes up
good.
like right now. It comes up on my phone. Conservative Talk live stream.
We can move that
And
a
I can
little
play it.
bit
Let's see.
closer. So get a little more.
Da, 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 da. And we're on. George, it's working. We're broadcasting right now.
Yeah, so we're going to start the show, but we're going to do a promo for the Facebook. So you're going to see us, doing a promo. So I'm going to leave for a second while we do the promo. Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to? I'm ready with my phone. You want me to do
Oh, okay.
Okay. So how about, how do you do this? Well, I'll just do it this way, watch.
How's our fans out there doing? We're
Okay, I'm gonna start the
Been a
live
busy
video. And, whoops, the camera's not good. This is a bit of prop. I'm Alice Lara, and we're getting ready for the Chips and Salsa show. We're gonna do a promo, so I'm the camera gal.
hello.
And tonight we have
Hello.
Don
Don
Jorge.
Jorge El Alacran. And we're back here another Thursday. We're going to be here Thursdays now at 7 p.m. So we still have about another half hour to start. But we may start 15 minutes early, but it doesn't matter because all our listeners are on cue. If you missed part of it, then just go to the podcast and catch us on the podcast. We're on YouTube Live under, what's that, Conservative Radio, right?
Conservative Talk
Conservative Talk.
or Conservative Salsa. We'll also, you'll get it if you search.
Yeah, just go to YouTube and then punch in Conservative Talk or Sonia Salsa S, and you'll catch us. We're live on YouTube right now, and we'll be live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook. This is a promo, so with us is Alice Lara.
And that's me, George. Can you have me on camera there? Why don't
Yes.
you do me for a second, okay?
Okay.
You can do. How about you do me and Miss Lydia?
Hello,
Okay,
Lydia
there they are.
Macias. Glad to be here tonight.
Lydia's back with us today. Now, unfortunately, got a little bit of bad news because we were supposed to have Jesse Romero on with us tonight, but he's got to get up like 5 in the morning tomorrow.
Brent
so-
Bacchus is watching. He said,
Brent Bacchus, not Bacchus.
Bacchus. I'm butchering your name, but Brent.
Thank you, Brett.
I hope you're back on the Republican movement now because we have a new leader now, Brent, and we're gonna make things happen. And
All
I
right.
know you were concerned about that because he had
Yes.
expressed some concern about that.
Yes, thank you, Brett. Let me just finish. So Jesse
Yeah,
Romero
why
was
don't you
supposed to be on. Jesse Romero was supposed to be on with us tonight, but he's got to get up really early in the morning, so he'll be back on with us in a couple of weeks. Also, Sid de la Fuente usually joins us, and he's left me a message. He was in a car accident. He sounded okay. I'm waiting to hear back. Hopefully everything's all right, but he cannot make it tonight. So tonight it's going to be Don Jorge, myself, Alice Lara, and Lydia Macias is going to join in. We have so much to talk about.
So much to
man.
talk about.
Oh
and
my goodness.
It's ridiculously wild. A lot of things have happened. We have a new chairman of the Republican Party, Dr. Kelly Ward. She's going to try to do a good job. We're all going to roll up our sleeves, try to help her. She was left kind of in a disarray, some of the offices and stuff. So we got to tidy everything up, get together.
Did you go there? Did you go?
No, I saw pictures
I saw
of it.
pictures too.
But I know she'll get that up and running, and then all the volunteers that'll come and help, and we'll get this ship righted, we'll get the ship going, and we have to look for a positive outcome for 2019, and then go for it in 2020. She's going to try to do a good job, and everybody's helping her. We're becoming a united party, and we're going to try to see if we can get some of this chicanery out of the way so that we can really concentrate on what has to be done. And that's getting out the vote, registering more PCs in every district, and just coming together as a party. We need to come together. We need that trust back in the party.
And Kelly Ward is invited. She's pretty busy right now, so
She said she was
we're
going
not
to come on
forcing
our show. Yeah.
Bless her heart. So
She
whenever
said
she
she's
has a
going to come
chance.
when she has a chance. She's going to come. Now she's even more busy because as chairman, if you are doing your job as chairman, you're busy because you're everywhere. Everybody wants you to show up. Everybody wants to talk to you. It becomes a daunting task, and I know she has her hands full, and she's gonna. Right now, she has a lookout for a state director,
Executive director.
executive director. She's looking at resumes and trying to pick the right person for the job. This is not where you have a buddy from Washington come down and you put him in charge of as an executive director. She's looking for a person in the party that has the experience to help her run this big giant elephant that we have. Because the GOP, the state GOP, is a big elephant. I mean, it's a big. We have district offices, satellite offices, I guess you would say that the GOP has put in. So we have satellite offices, we have people, we have LDs, we have PCs, we have executive members, you got board members, you got members at large. There's so much things that have to be done.
A lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts.
She's gonna,
Lydia, that's what you should be looking into. Send her your resume.
Oh yeah, here's an advertisement for Lydia.
I'm
Lydia's
glad to send her my resume. I'm be
Because they need
excited to
people
join
on
the team.
board. Yeah, they need people on board that could.
I also want to say that I had faith in Dr. Kelly Ward, and I knew she would win. So I'm.
Yeah, you were. I had my doubts.
I
had my
was
doubts.
100%.
I had my doubts, but,
I had this good feeling. I was sending positive vibes. So I'm.
So anyway, we're gonna
glad
come.
that she
We're gonna
won.
come back in about another 30 minutes. We'll start our broadcast at 7 o'clock. So stay tuned for the Chips and Salsa show on Facebook. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we're already on YouTube. We might just start 6:45. Since we're already all fired up here, and continue this conversation.
And we want to encourage you, please go and share this. You can share this promo right now if you share it to your Facebook profile.
Yep.
And that way you can encourage people to watch our show on Facebook at 7 o'clock. That would be great. If you haven't liked our page, please like our page. We're growing, and I keep running into people that are like, oh, you're from the Chips and Salsa show. So it's very good. And just keep spreading the word because, we're here to bust the myth that just because you're Latino, you might be a conservative. You might be a Republican.
That's
Okay,
right.
so we'll sign off for now. We'll be back in about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. So watch the program. Tell your friends to watch it. It's gonna be very interesting.
All right, go walk on. Okay, we'll come
I
back.
felt like going like this because you were talking, but I think it was only me. I mean, you had me on there, and I was like, oh.
I'm Alice Style.
So I felt like going.
Oh,
Because you were talking. Because like, oh, it's all good.
it's
all good.
So Sid
Yeah.
said he was if he's okay. There wasn't any
Well,
serious.
all he
injuries.
left a message and he said, Alice, I'm not going to make the show tonight. I've been in a car accident, so I'm not going to be there. And that's the only message that he left.
Okay.
So I texted him. I haven't heard back from him. I said, are you okay? I'm sorry. I'm thinking because, he was able to call us. He's probably
Right.
okay.
Probably okay, but it's the
That's
issue
fine.
with the vehicle and the damage and getting insurance assessment and everything.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you have Jessica's number, his wife's number, by any chance?
No,
I thought I had. I don't have it either. Did you guys see this one? I posted it to on page about the kids doing VGs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I had not seen that.
Forgot to show that to my boss. He's a big VGs fan.
That is so cute. That's funny.
They do a good job.
They
too.
do.
I'm glad you have that. I've got it.
This one was on
They
Ron
do
Kelly
look
Run,
like
and then
them.
this
Isn't
one was
that
on
funny?
Robert Luttrell,
The Terry, you mean?
the chairman. And then this one's an invite to the rally.
Oh, good.
And if you'd like to attend, it's Juanita Broadwick is going to be there as a speaker.
Oh,
Broderick is going to be there as a speaker, and she's was Clinton, one of those,
Yeah.
one of the people
Clinton bitter.
somebody that was abused by Clinton. We'll get a tissue real quick.
Horrible she went through. I didn't go to that event on Monday, so I was studying
Oh.
for PNP, but I did get your email. But yeah, this is in Tempe.
I thought that was so cute. All right, so if you'll go to the Chips and Salsa show, and
So-
you can share it, share the promo, so we can get people watching at 7.
We're just doing some back scene stuff, behind the scenes stuff. So our show starts in about 15 more minutes. So you'll see us playing with our phones and stuff, but we're just getting ready to go on the air. So stay tuned. Don't go away.
So if you'd like to, get your phones out and you can go to Facebook, you can share the promo and help us advertise. So like I used to usually put on there and I put, guac on with us at 7 p.m. That's 7 Arizona time. Okay, let's see. Where else can I put this? I'll put it to the friends, George, 'cause it's just right there. But we really appreciate you, Chipsters, and your support for doing this. We're into our 5th year already. This is our 5th year of doing the show.
That's a while.
Yeah.
That's
And,
pretty good.
One of the things, maybe we should have done that with Jesse. It just made me think about it. While we were on, Brent Backus came on and said, would you like to invite him to come on live with you? Like he could do almost a FaceTime on Facebook. Have you ever done one of those, George?
A what?
Like almost a live on Facebook. When we were doing the promo, Brent Backus was on there, but it was saying invite him. So if you go to invite him, it's almost like he's going to be on with you.
I've heard of that, FaceTime.
Yeah,
Actually,
through Facebook.
through Facebook, yeah.
So I don't know how that works. We'll have to play with that.
I have not used FaceTime before on that.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. So we have a lot to talk about this evening. In fact, there's also another event that Gabby Cicero Mercer sent me too. So we got abortion legislation.
Yeah, that's in Tucson, isn't it?
Yeah, do you have that one here? Did you
No, I didn't copy. I saw the message, but I didn't copy it. But I saw it was in Tucson. It's what is it about?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get it because I printed it out. And then we have Venezuela's.
We were at the
I know.
at the state meeting.
I'll let you do that while I run and get that.
And Kelly Ward ran against Jonathan Lyons, Chairman Jonathan Lyons, and
I'm trapped, huh?
gotta lose some more weight there.
Well, I dare you to do it.
Maybe you should put you in the middle. So it'll be girl, boy, girl, boy.
Yeah.
George. I think it would look
You wanna
better
sit in the
because
middle?
Okay, they want me in the
Ladies.
middle, so I'm gonna get in the middle, folks. Let's put her
Stuck in the middle.
in the middle again. Just let me see, when I move, I gotta move a whole castle probably. Okay. It's not like Fox News. They're already sitting down when you tune in. But here we kind of move around. How did you get so far? You're not on the.
Oh, what happened to me? There I am.
Now you're.
okay, let me get on
Moved
the
all the way
jump
back.
here.
And so we see, I put the microphone over there near her because
Oh, is this
she has a
right?
low voice.
That's Alice.
Oh, this is Alice's. Okay, Alice. There you go.
Before we rearrange our
Um,
stuff here.
We The state meeting was really interesting. We had a table out there, the Chips and Salsa show, and a lot of people came around. A lot of people, a lot of state delegates, state committeemen, some
Lot of
candidates,
legislators.
legislators came by, and it was a really good day. We had a great day. The election, of course, was between Kelly Ward. It came down to Kelly Ward and Jonathan Lyons, and there was another gentleman running, but he only got like 100 votes. But he was, he did run. And bless his heart for running.
Shimoli or something.
Doyle.
Doyle. That's
Doyle.
right. Doyle.
And he ran, and he's a very good man, very good PC, and but it came.
I'll tell you what the vote was. It ended up Kelly Ward got 633 votes, and Chairman Lyons got 526, and the other candidate, number 3, Doyle, got 65. You needed 613 to win, so Kelly won.
And that was a lot of votes that Jonathan Lyons got when you see the amount of people that were there. But Kelly Ward won. People wanted a change, and they got a change. And Jonathan Lyons ran 2 years as chairman, and he did his best. But now it's time for a change. People were upset about the elections, how they came out in the general elections, how we lost a few seats in the House, and I believe we lost some Senate seats,
There was
right?
a Senate seat that was lost.
Or one Senate.
Well,
State
in Arizona, we elected Congresswoman. Excuse me. Well, she was Congresswoman Kirsten Sinema.
I meant the state.
Oh, okay.
Capital.
And okay, and just a moment. So McSally is now our U.S. Senator. As far as the Capitol is concerned, we are barely hanging on as a majority Republican. There are 30 districts, and so you have 2 representatives for each district and 1 state senator for each. And we have 31 Republican representatives and 29 Democrats.
Mm.
So we're barely hanging on. We barely have a majority,
Very thin margin.
unfortunately. So, we got 2 years. George, you want to run? Lydia?
In the
So-
future, I may consider it.
Still getting my feet wet.
Because
with
LD
Arizona State
19 needs a shake
politics.
up, and I have to talk to the family and see if that's what they want me to do.
Oh, so you are considering one.
Yeah, I've
I
been
tell you what,
thinking about
I just want to put it out there because if you're out there and you're watching from Arizona and you are thinking about running for office, it's not too early to start because 2 years goes really fast. The presidential race has already
It's
started.
already starting. It's
So-
kicking off with
Yeah.
the Democrats, launching their exploratory committees. Is that what they're called?
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to be kicking that off in next couple of months, and it's not too early to start.
It
Talking
isn't.
to Dr. Branch, who I had a 20-minute conversation with, taught me a lot about if
Yeah.
you want to run, it's never too early to start, and it's not as easy as people think to get all those signatures you need to get your name on the ballot.
And I'd like to see Dr. Branch come in and help the party. He's got, the man is
He has a lot of
Very-
knowledge.
Very
lot of
knowledgeable.
experience.
I was
And
very impressed when I met
also
him.
Jim Gord, the one that ran for chairman last year.
Jim O'Connor.
Jim O'Connor is a very good candidate. We got some good people. All they need to do is step up and send their resume to Kelly Ward, the campaign, and even if you don't get selected, you can help on the side.
Well, we
an
were talking
assistant
about running
director.
for office, and so George, just to distinguish, he's talking about working for the AZGOP
Yeah, that's-
party.
Mhm.
And Kelly is looking for some good people. The executive directorship is out there as well. And maybe you just want to volunteer. I heard from quite a few people who said that they are ready to go back to volunteer. They feel, I'm just going to say it because they told me, okay, they feel more welcome now. And so they want to go back and go into the office and just volunteer. And that's
That's
the
good.
backbone of the Republican Party because, if we had to pay for everything that got done, it's very expensive to get things done. They have to get out there.
That's the backbone of political planning, political organizing is volunteer work.
Yeah.
Getting volunteers out there
And donations, they could
Feet on
use
the ground.
donations, and
and
And,
helping out.
a lot of people said they're going to donate $5, $10 now. before they were just holding their money back because they were just all these rumors and reports, going around. But a lot of people want to.
And you can do that. And you can even, if you don't live in the state of Arizona, but Arizona is fighting to stay red, you're welcome to send us a few bucks. Just send it to the AZGOP.
AZGOP.
Go on,
Yeah.
go on their website. What is it? AZGOP.org, I think.
Yeah,
And donate money.
she's building up a good board. She's got a good board. She's building up a good set of directors that'll know, how to get funds out, from donors and I know she welcomes all the help she can get because this is a party of unity. Everybody has to come together and help out. And
I feel really encouraged, George, and I'll tell you why. I was a supporter, am a supporter of Dr. Kelly Ward. And one of the reasons that I thought she would make a very strong chairwoman, is in her campaign, she went all over the state. She went to all of the districts. She knew a lot of people. She hit the grassroots. In my own home, we had a meet and greet for her here.
Yeah.
And she connected with a lot of people. She knows the issues. She's smart. She thinks on her feet. She's very inclusive. I think we're going to get some really good representation. And we all have to, band together, no matter
And
what's
we
happening.
had her at your women's at the women's central woman
We had a forum, and that was when, let's see, we had the Sheriff Joe Arpaio was running, Dr. Kelly Ward was running, and so was Congresswoman Martha McSally at that time. Martha McSally could not make that particular forum, so we did have the other two candidates.
and that was
She's,
good. I mean,
she's always been very good about trying to get. She's been on our show a couple of times.
it was sold out. I mean,
That
it
was
was
fun,
like
sure.
standing room only. That's how many people were there, and both of them put on a good presentation. And I believe Kelly Ward did the best presentation. Sheriff Joe stood his ground and answered the questions as best as he could. But Dr. Kelly Ward stole the show. And if Martha McSally would have been there, it would have been a very good one-on-one, but Martha McSally wasn't there.
And we support, our Republican candidates. Martha McSally is going to run again. She's got already.
She's got-
We're talking about running,
Right,
so
2
she'll
years.
be running again.
And 2 years is
And
going
we
to go
have-
by very quickly.
And we have to have all people helping her beat whoever the Democrats are going to throw against her, and they're going to throw
They're
some
gonna have
heavy guns. And they've already said Schumer's handpicking a person that's going to come out here and run against her, or maybe lives out here that's going to run against her. We don't know.
Do you know who that is? Have you heard?
No, they just said that he was really, really.
They're after us. Senator
Yeah.
McSally is,
Yeah.
is a good, strong, she's got experience. She was a congresswoman.
Right.
She was
Air Force
Air
veterans.
Force pilot. She is a hustler, a hard worker. She knows the issues, and we've
Now,
got
how
some
does that work on the
candidates.
primary? Another Republican could decide to run against her, right?
Yeah, she's
That's
got to do a
possible.
primary.
Yeah, there's a primary.
I don't know
So-
anybody who's interested. Do you?
So I
There's
don't know,
someone that's
but
going to run against her in the primary.
you may find somebody running against her in the primary. If that's the case, then if they have forums and they come out and they talk, they don't need to trash each other. But that's what happened in the primary with the sheriff and McSally and Dr. Kelly Ward. There was too much trash talk. And Sinema was over there on the side with her commercials,
Right.
and nobody was
And no one
challenging
was
her
challenging.
in her commercials. She was like a little angel. She made herself look like independent, an angel. She totally changed her stripes.
Well, she also ran someone as an independent
Yeah,
where her
that's what I mean.
political
Claimed to
affiliation
be.
did not get disclosed in the commercial, because I did see some of her ads,
Oh,
and
she
I
was
didn't know
like-
if she was
she
a
was
Republican
like-
or a Democrat.
Yeah,
They
that's-
were very
Yeah, we
very
didn't know anything
careful
about her.
in how
Yeah.
they ran the
Yeah.
ads for Dr.
Yeah, she
she's
had
a-
old people on there, senior citizens with her. She
she
had
some military
Asians
people.
with her. She had the
a mix.
military.
Right.
Everybody that she could associate with to make people think that she was in the middle or that she was like an
Right.
independent. She had them in the commercials, and we didn't attack back, and so there was a little slight attack, but it wasn't like what she was doing everyday commercials.
Right, and
it
the
was crazy.
ads against Christian Cinema came in too late. I mean,
Yeah.
they tried
was
to
a-
rush in the attack ads after her, and they just
It was-
didn't-
it was
It
nothing-
was 2 months before the
Yeah,
election.
and
they
she
just
did
didn't
that when
stand-
she was running for the House. for her seat in the House. She made it look like she was going to fight for the veterans. That's when the veterans
That's what I saw.
administration, was having their problems, and she was like all for the vets, and she was interviewing in front of the hospital, talking to vets, and she made herself look really, really connect with the people.
Right.
And she won the House of Representatives. Now she was running for Senate, and she did the same thing. The same people running her commercials then are running her commercials now, and they know. They must have polled people and know what the people want to hear, and
Right.
that's what
Right.
we heard. And we should have done our commercials too, but for some reason we weren't doing. The money wasn't there, or something. We had
Well,
three
when you have
candidates.
one candidate,
Mhm.
and Kirsten Sinema is a phenomenal fundraiser. You know, she raises money, and here's 3 other people. But you know what? We have to look ahead and focus on getting strong candidates and do our due diligence and present information. We've got a lot of ammo. We have a lot of issues we're going to talk about tonight. That, you know, the Republican Party, this is the place to be. We are the ones defending life, for one thing.
Very much so.
And there's just so much that we're going to be talking about.
Okay,
We have a lot of announcements.
so
to-
we're going to get ready to go on live on Facebook as well as YouTube. We're going to continue doing YouTube, but we're going to go live on Facebook right now. So I think Alice is going to set that up. Once she sets it up, we'll be live on Facebook.
I'm
And
trying to turn this dude off here. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to work the phone. So keep on talking. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to turn it off and turn it back on. But if you're watching us on YouTube, we really appreciate that. And what you could do is you could copy this link, post it on Facebook, or send it. You know what? If there's somebody you're thinking of and you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to text so-and-so who lives in Dallas, Texas, and tell them to watch the show. You could do that. Send them the link to YouTube, and you can send it over there. They can click and they can watch us. Because not everybody's on Facebook.
yeah,
Lydia's not on Facebook.
a lot of people go to
Busted
YouTube.
her.
Great. Thanks for diming me out.
Well, a lot of people aren't. Some people get off on purpose because they don't trust it or they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm thinking about doing that, but you know, we have our show there, and you know, you're gonna do.
Yep.
How many do you have? What do you have your 5,000 friends yet, George? I know you're just about there.
I'm pretty close.
Okay, so
5,000 friends.
You need to do a boost. Is that what you do for the show?
Let's see, I'll tell you how many I have. Ooh, 4,921.
And you
That's
can. I think
almost
you can get up to
5,000.
what 5,000 before that's it.
Everybody loves me.
Is there a max out number for Facebook
What?
friends?
I think 5,000.
5,000 is your
I have
max.
no idea.
Okay, so I'm gonna try this and see.
Then I'll
how
just
it
drop
goes.
some that aren't paying attention. So pay attention if you're on my Facebook and communicate.
Don't ignore George.
Yeah, don't
He'll
ignore.
drop you.
All right, I'm gonna try to go live on this thing, George.
Okay.
Let's see if it works.
I need to get a Trump
Starting
2020.
live video. Oh, I think it's even gonna work this way. So,
You sure?
Can you?
all right, so the only thing is, George, why don't you go to the Chips and Salsa show on your phone and see if we're
Okay.
doing live. Okay, so,
Are you taping it live now?
oops, I'm putting my hand in front of it. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Okay, so go there and see if it's broadcasting.
Well, let's try it another way. Oh, here we go.
Or if anybody's on there already, just tell me if it's broadcasting. And then I can adjust the camera.
Address the camera.
Adjust it.
It's not. It's just.
It's streaming now, isn't it?
Is it streaming?
It's streaming. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear us on there?
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Can you hear it?
Oh, I don't have a volume out there. Oh no, I do have a volume. I can't hear it.
Okay, can you say something?
Hmm?
So you can't hear anything on your phone? Do you have the volume up on your phone?
It's probably
Hello,
on.
hello, hello,
It's
hello.
probably on.
I don't hear nothing.
Can
Oh,
you see us?
There it
Can
is.
you hear it? Can you hear it? Can
Okay,
you hear
how's the picture?
it? Oh, there it is. I had the volume down.
You had the volume on low.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so let's see, so I need to adjust that, we're too low. All right.
You're
George.
too low. So people, we're on Facebook. It's just
There it is.
our technical
better?
director is technically
MIA.
directing, or technically setting us up.
There we go.
Okay.
We have 4 more minutes, so.
How's
So
that?
anyway,
How's the picture?
I have a minute delay here, so. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait a minute, you're getting that. Could you bring the,
Higher?
or bring it past
Closer?
that?
Bring it
Because
closer?
you're hitting the YouTube camera.
Well, you
How's
can
that?
still see us on
Okay.
YouTube.
Oh, there you go. I think, come and sit down. Come and sit down,
Okay,
girl.
there we go.
Okay, so that's
I don't-
delayed.
Okay, it's still
Let's
delayed, but.
see, oh, see, it's too low. There we go, there we go.
Just 1 second, people. We're missing Alice on the picture here.
I need to get that down.
There you are.
I think.
Now you're on.
Okay, so I'm
Okay.
It's just a delay.
Is that okay?
About 20
It's
minutes.
yeah, it's a
20,
delay. It's a
27
couple
minutes.
I
seconds.
think that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
All right, so that's our Facebook,
That's right.
and I'm gonna get my tablet so that way if anybody's talking, they can talk to us too. All right, I'll be right back. Keep on talking, and we'll start the show in about 1 minute.
Might want to bring it down just a little over there. Bring it down just.
ahead, adjust it, George, if you can.
See, because it looks like it's at an angle going up. We'll get it together here, people. Just give me a.
You need to push it down?
Yeah, like.
Let me see.
Oh, there we go. Is that coming out? Is that,
Yeah.
Could you see this?
The YouTube's great.
Okay, how does
Okay,
it
now.
look?
Oh, that's better, George. Better. Now you're,
Push it
the only
more.
thing is the, no, because your laptop's in the way. You know what? What if we move the laptop a little bit more
Yeah,
over
just put it
here?
over there. Got a better angle.
I think we can still
How's
get
that
us
look?
in there. Okay, now. Okay, now.
How's that
go
look,
ahead.
girls?
You two are more technically savvy than me.
Okay, so I'm moving, hang on, because it's on delay just a moment.
There we go.
Okay, let's see if this is better or worse. Okay, now this thing's right in my face. If I put this down. Okay, let's see if that's better
That's better?
or worse. Hang on. Okay, I'm putting the mic down now. And hang on. You're not gonna like it, George, but go ahead and sit down and see.
Technical difficulties.
So that one's good. YouTube is really good. Okay, let's see here. Oh, much better.
We got everybody in there.
Come
I
on,
think that'll work.
come on
I
in.
think I picked that.
Okay, you just gotta, so, there we
That's
go.
when she get up to get the tablet.
Okay, it's 1 minute, 1 minute to count down.
It's 5:59.
Okay.
We're just about there. We gotta get our music.
You didn't play music last time I was here.
We have, you know we have a theme song? Lydia doesn't even know we have
I
a theme
didn't even
song.
know you had a theme song. I haven't heard it.
My nephew wrote it. Da 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 da, right? Da 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 da.
Okay, 7 o'clock.
It is time for the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lara here with,
Don Jorge El Alacran.
and we have our special guest, Miss
Lydia Macias.
Lydia Macias. Woo! Hey, first of all, thank you very much, Chipsters, for tuning in this evening. I want to apologize because we had promoted the fact that we were supposed to have Jesse Romero. He is a Catholic Republican evangelist. I should say he's a Catholic evangelist, and he happens to be Republican. But he couldn't be with us tonight. He called me, and he has to get up like super early, 5 in the morning. But he will be here in 2 weeks, okay? 2 weeks. is what he
Dos
told me.
semanas.
So We'll have him at that point. Also, our good friend Sid de la Fuente was going to sit in with us, but he left me a message that he was in a car accident. I'm hoping it's okay. He sounded good, but
Got
he
our
didn't.
fingers crossed that he's okay.
Thoughts and prayers with Sid.
Right. And he's hopefully he'll be back with us next week. As soon as we hear if he's doing okay, if he wants to text us or go on Facebook and let us know, that's good. He sounded okay, so I'm thinking if he was able to call and let me know, he's probably fine. Just there's some crazy drivers out
That's
there.
pretty rough.
Please slow down. Oh, I know this is maybe not the way to start the show, but today,
And there's a lot of road work going on all around the city, not only in Phoenix, but also in the suburbs. Road work, it's just road work. A lot of money coming in for that, for the infrastructure, the
infrastructure.
of the city and the other outlying cities. So you might be in Mesa and there's roadblocks there. So just be careful. Just when it gets done, it's going to be nice. I mean, Phoenix is growing, and this is just our growing pains. We were talking earlier regarding the state elections that we had Saturday, with Kelly Ward winning, and now the new chairman of the Republican Party. I love saying that, chairwoman of the Republican Party, and she's bringing people together, and we're going to start this unity of the Republican Party. People are
Not
coming.
disunity. We're going to start unity.
Unity.
It sounded like disunity.
No. We're starting to unify as a party.
Unity.
People are coming together. People that weren't active are becoming active. They're going to try to volunteer. They're going to try to do whatever they can. LDs are fired up. Volunteers are fired up. Everybody wants to do good. They want to help Kelly Ward, Chairwoman Kelly Ward. They want to help the party. We need to help the party. We have to roll up our sleeves. Like Kelly Ward said when in her acceptance speech, it's time to roll up our sleeves. Time to come together. And I believe that she was sincere when she said that. And we thank the past chairman, Chairman Lyons, for the work he did and being chairman for 2 years and taking that helm. You don't get paid for being chairman, but you got to do as good a job as you can because it's very important. It involves a lot of races during the election that we have to concentrate on, both the Arizona state races and the Washington state races. How do you distinguish between
Washington state races?
Or,
you mean the federal
the
races?
federal races versus the state races?
Always making me think, George.
And we had a really good. Our results weren't that good in this past general election, so a lot of people were upset. They want to see change. They want to see, and I'm talking about that. I'm gonna change the subject here. I don't know what's going on with the House here, the State House. They're starting to pass a lot of bills trying to increase taxes. What's going on? They want to increase your registration. They want to put a tax on gasoline. They want to tax. I was reading. It's ridiculous. We're Republicans. We're not a tax and spend group. We elected people to go in there not to tax us. There's like 3 bills now they're tax related. We can't let that happen. We gotta tell them. Send messages to your House of Representatives. Say, hey, we don't want to be taxed. And I know they need money to raise money, but I don't want to pay more on gasoline. I mean, they want to tax gasoline now, and I think.
Who do they want the tax to pay for? Do you know?
Huh?
The tax that they're
Tax
saying.
they
What
want
do
to
they
raise
want
for
to
them.
pay?
Once they got the money, they're going to spend it
But
on.
I should
Well,
ask.
yeah.
What are the gasoline tax? You're saying they're trying to raise taxes on gasoline. What do they want to use it for? Do they say?
They did say, but it's like it might be going to the teachers or to pay the fire department.
But you bring up a good point. Now I don't comment a lot on state stuff because I work
Right.
for Copper State and I'm lobby, so I don't do that because I don't want to get my boss in trouble or anybody else. But what I do want to encourage you is You know, you live in the state of Arizona, and people get focused on the federal, like George says, and there's a lot of stuff that you're affected by the state.
Right, state
So-
legislature is, a lot of the bills they pass go unnoticed
They do.
until they become law, and then you realize, I didn't know this was actually gonna be passed.
I'll tell you a perfect example. I don't remember the specific instance, but a good friend of mine was complaining about something. I said, well, did you call your state senator, your state representative? No. I said, do you know who that is? No. See, and most people don't.
Right.
And I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. But you can find that out. You can find that out. And just again to say, so you live in a district. We have 30 districts in Arizona, and there's one senator per district and 2 representatives. So you have 3 people representing you at the state level, plus your governor. Your governor represents you too. Call their office and let them know. Who was it? Wasn't it? He's a councilman now, but he was a state legislator. And he said, when I get phone calls and responses, you know that people care about that, and it makes you take a look at it a second time. So I can encourage you to take an interest in your own government.
And yeah, if you go on our page, sometimes we'll put some of the numbers down so you can call your district representative. So tune into that.
You can just go to the state website. Just
Or
Google
go to-
Arizona State Government.
Mhm.
Go to the legislative site, and you have.
There's a search
more
box
information.
at the website, you can look up actually your LD, information.
You can put your address
Punch in
in.
your address, and it'll pull up the LD, your legislative district, and that gives you the names, Democrat and Republican. Republican is what you should be looking for.
And don't worry,
And
if
find out who
represents
who
you.
represents you, and look up their website and send them an email or write down their phone number. And if they don't respond, then you know it's somebody that you shouldn't vote for when
There
you
you
run
go.
for re-election, because they should be responding to your phone calls and your email.
And don't be intimidated because, let's say, like in my particular district, I'm a Republican, but all our representatives are Democrat because we're so outnumbered by the Democrats. But they still represent you.
Mhm.
They still represent you, even no matter what party they are.
You know, I was looking at it, and Brent
Backus.
Backus just brought that up about no new taxes, and he says rhinos, no rhinos, need to weed out the rhinos. I don't know who the rhinos are in our party.
Republican in name only.
Caesar Cisneros is watching. Hey, Caesar, he was with us Saturday, in fact. You know, we have to make sure that our representatives here, like what Alice said, just call. And it's easy to do. You just go online, and it tells you who your representative for your district is, and send them a message. They have their phone numbers and everything. You can leave a message and tell them that you're going to hold their feet to the fire, because when they approached you at your LD or at the meetings that you had with them, they didn't say they were going to raise taxes. They didn't say they were going to go on the Democratic side and be a rhino and stuff. No, and then he's asking, why does Arizona accept the bus loads of asylum seekers from Homeland Security? The governor has to say, what did you have to say there? Say we don't want them. But that's something, send them to California. I agree, Brent.
Nancy Pelosi's house, right? Your girlfriend's house.
Send
They,
it to Nancy
they were at
Pelosi's
the-
district.
They had a lady out there. She was with I think she was the Patriots. They were outside of her house. And
Oh, Lisa Anto.
yeah, they were outside of her house. They actually had some people, some asylum seekers, that were kicked out of Nancy Pelosi's house because they jumped the fence and they kicked them out. But this is really it's getting carried away. People.
See, the thing is that they don't even notify the states. I mean, Department of Homeland Security is kind of just bringing these buses in the middle of the night, literally. No one's aware of it.
Yeah.
The media is not aware of it, of course. It's not during the day, so this is very sneaky. And this happened during Barack Obama's administration as well. This shouldn't be happening under the Trump administration.
Right.
Under current Secretary of Homeland Security, but that is happening. That is continuing to happen. So that is a problem. And what's happening is that they're sneaking into these areas and they're just leaving them in major cities, but they seek out the sanctuary cities.
Sure.
Phoenix, knock on wood, is not a sanctuary city, so they shouldn't be bringing them here to Phoenix.
Well, Tucson is
But
trying to.
I'm not sure if it's happening here in Phoenix, so again, I'm
Well,
not.
it's happening, and it's. I know that Tucson wants to become a sanctuary city. We just have to. Everybody's got to roll up your sleeves and volunteer in your LD, volunteer in your district, and let's. If you're not a PC, and if there's PC openings, sign up to be a PC, and help out on your district. And it's one district at a time. We got to come together. And I see that John Rhodes has joined us, Chairman Rhodes. Thank you, Chairman, for joining us. Uh, Chairman John Dwayne Rhodes. He's a good friend of mine. We when I went to the convention, the national convention, me and him shared a room, and
You were roommates.
we were roomies. He's my roomie. So thank you, Chairman, for watching our show.
George, I want to touch on what you say because I was.
And he got an award.
Oh.
At the chairman's dinner last Friday.
Last Friday?
They presented Chairman John Dwayne Rhodes with an award. So
What was
congratulations.
the award for? Do you remember?
I can't.
Like outstanding PC or something, or
No, it was like
best guy in a room with George Ortiz.
yeah, best guy in the room. No, I think it was for his work in the Republican Party,
He's a
and
good guy.
it's like a lifetime achievement.
A
Something.
lifetime achievement.
Yeah, I think it was a nice award, and it was well deserved. He's done a lot of
And
work.
thank
for
you,
the
Chairman.
Republicans.
And you know what? I want to take a minute too and thank all the precinct committee. We say PC. So many people go, "What's a PC?" I don't know, but that's a precinct committeeman. And I want to thank all of you guys out there and the chairmans and the leadership that they do that. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. But I want to take this opportunity also. I was talking to a friend of mine from New Mexico on the way home today, and she's getting ready kind of to retire. And I said, I know you want to do fun stuff and everybody does, but if everybody would just take about a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours a week, and volunteer for your party, even if it means going down to the state party and seeing what they need, even if it means becoming a PC and hitting your meetings up once in a while, just think of all that power we would have. We have a lot of precinct committeeman slots that need to be filled, like you say, George. We could be very powerful. And if you need information, call up the local party. I have the number memorized, okay? For our state party here in Arizona, 602-957-7770. And I think now with Kelly's administration, it will be answered. I had a little bit of tough time in the last administration, though, but
Could
oh,
you
60
repeat that one more time?
Yes, I was going to. 602-957-7770. But call them up, and they're probably really busy, so you might get an answer machine or a message, and leave a message. Leave your name and number. Leave your email too. Okay, I've been getting better about that. I leave my name and number and email because people and say you can text me, you can email me, and we have a lot of power numbers, and Republicans are hard workers and good volunteers.
And
Yes,
reliable and
encourage you.
responsible, all the good qualities that a Republican should have.
Yeah, and follow through and get there on time.
And
You're
if you
looking
have
at
time.
someone right here George, if you kept track of all your hours, oh my goodness.
If you have time and you can donate some time in the evenings or in the days, and just come out and help. They could probably use help. Like right now, she's fixing up, cleaning up and fixing the offices up. They could probably use electricians, plumbers, people that are good with housekeeping and come in and shampoo the carpet. Anything you can do to help out, it'll be welcome. And I'm sure our chairwoman, Dr. Kelly Ward, would appreciate any help that's offered. Because we have so many talented people out there that have a lot of experience doing things. We have a lot of plumbers out there, ex-military people that were plumbers and electricians, because there's a lot of things
Or
to be
write a
done.
little check. If you can't
Or
do
you
that,
can
you're
write
busy working stuff. Write a $20 check.
A $20, $5, $10.
10 people write $20 checks. That's a couple $100. It helps pay the electric bill. It does.
And we have satellite offices also, so you could probably volunteer in your community if you're too far away, in your community at one of the satellite offices for the GOP. So that's another option you have. So, and you could donate through that office. or volunteer through that office. So let's roll up our sleeves. Let's all be Republicans and no more trash talking about people, trash talking about who did this, who did that. Kelly's on board now. She's our chairwoman, and she's gonna right the ship. She's righting the ship. So let's all get together, help her out, and let's make this ship go straight up, straight
And she'll be
forward.
on the show soon.
Yep,
soon as
she'll
she
be on
can.
the show.
So I want to divert us just a little bit, and I want to wish my brother a happy birthday. My brother Ernest Lara, sometimes he goes by Ernesto, but
Ernesto.
today's his birthday. Should I say how old he is? I don't know. I don't have permission to say how old he is. He's older than me, but he's having a great time celebrating with his wife, my sister-in-law Yoli, and so happy birthday, Ernest. We call him Güero is his nickname.
Güero.
Have you met my brother Ernest? I don't think
I
you have.
might have.
He's very light complexion. He's the same complexion as my husband, who's Irish. He had red hair. I mean,
Wow.
and so we call him Güero.
Güero.
Güero, like
Did you ever
Christopher
do a
Lightskin.
23andMe and
I know we
see
need
if
to
you
do
have
that.
Spanish ancestry?
We do have
I
Spanish.
I have Spanish
We do have
ancestry.
Spanish ancestry. My grandfather on my dad's side was very tall. I think he had green eyes and light skin like that.
Same with my
But-
great grandfather. He was actually from Spain
Mm-hmm.
and had that reddish the beard, the Van Dyke beard with
Yeah.
the pointy beard with the bottom, the
Yes.
mustache, and reddish brown hair and light complexion.
I'll have to show you the photo that we have of my great 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 grandpa from Spain. He had the whiskers. But happy birthday, Güero, Ernest. Salute, way to go. And he also is a veteran. He was in the National Guard, and this was in the 60s. So maybe next time he comes, we'll have him on the show. We've had my
Lydia
veteran
was
on.
in the armed service.
Lydia, our own veteran, which, you know what, we should take a minute because we really haven't, we used to do a deal called the Military Moment, and we've been so busy trying to get our show together for 2019. Let's do a little 5-minute military moment. What do you say, George? Show, are you up for it, Lydia?
What do I have to do?
The military moment, what we do is we highlight a veteran.
Jumping jacks.
Yeah. All I'm gonna jump at Jackson, you do. And what we do is, we invite people on the show and that are veterans as yourself, and we find a little bit more about you. So you were in the Navy.
Right.
So tell us when you were in the Navy and what you did there.
Well, I was in the Navy from 2005 to 2013, active duty service, and I was in the medical service corps. So I did medical planning, medical operations. I was assigned at a hospital in North Carolina, at Lejeune, for a short time, 2 years, and then I was sent to medical battalion in Okinawa, Japan.
Nice.
So that was a great experience. I asked for overseas assignments, so they sent me to Japan. And then I was assigned on the ship, the flagship, over at Seventh Fleet. So we got to do different port calls over the Pacific, and that was a great experience. I was there for a little over 3 years.
On board ship?
On board the ship.
Wow.
And it was a lot of work because it was staff work. I wasn't assigned to a ship's company. But it was a great experience in terms of learning about, what the Navy does, the different operations that it engages in, the different planning that goes involved. Great port calls we had were called big tops. So we had to pull into different port for different countries like Singapore and Hong Kong, and we got to have like a party. So there would be VIPs coming on the ship, and we got to meet different, the dignitaries from that host nation. So it was
Nice.
a great experience, and I just enjoyed it because we did those different deployment schedules like 2 or 3 times a year, and I got to go to Australia, I got to go to Singapore, Hong Kong, the Philippines.
You saw the world.
So it was great. I did
I have
not
to ask
expect
you.
that.
Why? Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from San Antonio.
From San Antonio. So why did you choose the Navy?
Yeah.
I wanted to just travel. I guess I could have done that with any service, the Army, Air Force, they all travel, of course, but I thought it would just be fun to be on a ship.
Evidently, water didn't
so
bother you.
I did not fear being on a ship. I did not have any issues, traveling long distances, and I love to travel, so I didn't.
You never got seasick?
Actually, I didn't get seasick at all. And it was one of those ships where you did feel the waves. It wasn't a carrier. It was a ship where it was a calm ship, so it wasn't like it was a fast ship. It wasn't a cruiser or a destroyer, so you did feel the waves. But I did get my sea legs pretty quickly within 2 or 3 months, and I really didn't get sick. I mean, it wasn't always a comfortable experience when you had to work in the office and the ship was moving, because you did have to sit in front of a computer monitor.
Mhm.
And if it was too rough, then of course, then the office was like, if it's too rough for you, then you don't have to sit in front of a computer and do staff work. But if I could handle it, I mean, I was fine.
That's awesome.
I took some, I can't remember the exact name of the medication, but it was for motion sickness. But I didn't even take it that often. So I did take it before we went underway, and I didn't have any bad experience as far as dealing with the emotions on the way. I didn't experience severe motion sickness that I can say, oh, I got sick or anything.
Wow.
So,
Now, would you recommend that? Would you recommend the Navy to other people who are thinking about going in the military?
I would recommend the Navy if you are, always deployed on the ship, so it was that type of thing. And then when we were in port, I was asked to go, what's called TAD, temporary at duty assignments, which was travel for conferences to Hawaii or some other
Yeah,
places.
my son says he goes shopping and stuff. He says, but the
They
people
understand English.
they understand
They
they
understand.
understand. He says you don't really have to know the language because they just kind of show you things.
They show you
Yeah.
pictures if you go to a restaurant. You'll have pictures on.
Yeah, that's what
there.
you're saying
And
about
you'll-
pictures.
And they're very. My experience with Japanese people are very friendly and very polite. I did not have any negative experiences. I lived downtown because I couldn't live on base as a single officer, but I had a great time. I mean, if you really want to travel and go to some interesting places, I would recommend the Navy. But again, any service is gonna take you to some interesting places. Air Force, Army, what am I forgetting? Marine Corps.
Marine Corps,
My
yeah.
brother's in the Air Force, so he's currently in Germany, and he was stationed in Tucson.
Yeah,
wow.
So he got orders to Germany. He's there right now.
yeah.
He's not liking the cold weather too much right now. 'cause
Bet.
Yeah, the Coast
The
Guard.
He's
polar
not used to
vortex.
the cold
The
weather.
Coast Guard does a lot of work.
Actually, the Coast Guard is one that I thought about.
Mhm.
Something about the water actually
Yeah,
just
you were
appealed to
into
me.
the water,
I was
huh?
into the water. I just wanted
Are
to
you
be
like a
around the
champion
water.
swimmer or anything?
I'm not a champion swimmer. I did learn how to swim because I did have to pass the swim test.
Did you not know how to swim when you joined the Navy?
I learned before I got commissioned.
Oh, but I mean, it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a requirement to?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
you have to pass
I
a
would
swim
think.
test.
I would
Yeah,
think.
you have to pass a swim test. Not very difficult, but you do have to learn how to swim. You have to be a champion swimmer or anything. Maybe for the Coast
But
Guard.
I find it interesting. Because, you know,
But
that's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's
I
very
enjoyed
cool.
it.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we just want to have a little military moment. We want to thank you for your service very much. And if you know of somebody we could highlight for a military moment, I'd like to bring that back. You know, we've met so many great people. Ronnie Jimenez, we need to have him back in. Do that. And of course, every time Sid's on, Sid was a Marine. He is a Marine, excuse me, if you may know him.
Once a
so-
Marine, always a Marine,
Once
right?
Marine, always Marine. So we really appreciate the fact that you went in there. And you know, if you're thinking about going to the service, I want to encourage you. I think it's
It's a good
one of the
thing
ways.
for a young man to do, a young woman, and you know, you get an education in there. You
It's a good
learn
time.
discipline. You learn. It depends on what you're doing in there, but it's a good way to earn money. Plus, you're helping our country. And then when you come out, you're well treated. Most people are well treated. I see Brad Zinn is watching us. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Brad,
We miss you.
you need to come do the show soon.
Yep, you sure
He's
do.
been busy. Have you seen? He's out there entertaining like crazy,
I
boy.
know.
Hey, you know what? Talking about entertainment, I don't want the show to go before we get all our announcements out. Why don't we do that? In fact, our good friend Gabby Cecilia Mercer, she sent me something that's happening in Tucson, and this is going to be February 13th. George, today's the last day of January. Tomorrow's February 1st
No.
already, right, Linda?
Yep.
Oh,
It is.
goodness.
Before
So-
it starts tomorrow.
She sent this to me. This is happening February 13th.
February 13th.
And that's at the, am I saying this right? Nanini Library in Tucson, 7300 North Shannon Road. And who is going to be there? Mr. Barry Webb, who is a former NSA spy.
Spy.
Wow.
Ooh.
Sounds interesting.
It's a Valentine's Eve special. He's going to talk about women's rights under Sharia law, arranged marriages, forced marriages, child brides, honor killings. You'll learn about Sharia law, where is it, where did it come from, polygamy,
Wow.
a bunch of stuff. Okay, if you want to go, here's what you need to do. You can RSVP to Lyle at ACT Tucson, ACT Tucson, TUCSON, ACT Tucson at AOL.com, or Sheila. And you can get Sheila at ArizonaSheila@gmail.com. That's Arizona, SHEILA @gmail.com. And there's going to be, his book's going to be on sale. Confessions, let's see. These experiences, observations, studies have created a great deal of alarm and caused him to write a book, Confessions of an Ex-NSA Spy, Why America and its Allies Are Losing the War on Terror. Barry will have these books for sale after the meeting out in the front foyer of the
$15.
library
That's
for only
pretty good.
$15.
That's
Yeah.
good. You probably sign them too.
And he has two other thrillers, the Aleppo File and the Jericho Tablet, and he'll have those for only $10. So this is the Act Tucson Marana chapter, and again, that's going to be Wednesday, February 13th, and it's Barry Webb. So let's see, what time, does it have a time? Did I say it quickly? I'm not seeing that on here. I don't have a time. I'm thinking it's probably in the evening, is what I'm guessing. I don't see one. Do you see a time on there? Anyhow, check that out, find out about it. And also, I want to tell you on February, let's see, is that on the 12th is on, let me go to my calendar here. On the 12th, we're going to have our LD meeting. George, you might want to come to this. Lydia, you might want to come to this. And that's for LD 27. And Sid's going to be our speaker, Sid de la Fuente. And that's here in the South Mountain area. We meet at the Mountain Gate Clubhouse, and that's over here on Dobbins and about 15th Avenue. You go a little south. It's by the Arizona Humane Society. And about 6:30, we kind of do a social thing, registration, and we start our meeting at 7 o'clock. Then the same night as this, if you can't go to Tucson, like me, because I'm going to be at our Central Republican Women of Phoenix meeting.
I'll be there as
Lydia's
well.
going to be there too. And that night's going to be really good there too. We are going to have City Councilman Sal DeCiccio. And Sal, for those of you who don't know, keeps up on the light rail stuff. He watches our money. He's a fantastic Republican city councilman.
So he'll have
That's
those
that's on
issues
great.
on the tax increases that you're talking about,
Yeah.
George.
Oh, and the city
He's-
part.
I'm sure he's gonna have information on that.
Oh, yeah.
That's on the city, not the state. But and then the 14th, of course, that's we'll have our show every Thursday.
We're
We're
gonna,
gonna
it's gonna
broadcast
be
on
on
Thursdays.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
My
Day.
Are
daughter's
we gonna have
birthday.
are we gonna have Valentine's Day show? Do we
Yeah.
have- Okay.
My daughter's birthday, so
It's a Valentine's Day,
Oh.
baby.
yeah, she's a Valentine's Day baby. That's why we named her Valerie.
Oh, and then do you have some other announcements, George? What about Juanita Broderick? Juanita Broderick, surviving Clinton sexual assault, free tickets. Woo! Okay, this is gonna be Monday, February 25th, and this is in Tempe. We should go to this thing, George.
I'll be
Yeah,
right,
that's why I got a ticket.
right in my
Did you
neighborhood.
get a ticket already?
Yeah, right here.
Nice.
I got
You
three
got
tickets.
tickets for
That's why I
us?
got
Oh,
three.
did you get the tickets for us?
Yeah.
For all of us?
Just go in there. They
Oh,
scan-
this is my free ticket.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm
you
looking at
get
this and I'm going,
Yeah,
They
that's
say
a-
scan,
that's
they
your,
scan the
that's your
little
free
thing.
ticket.
thank
You have an order number there, so
Yeah.
it's done.
So
Yes, ma'am.
we're gonna go to see Juanita Broderick, and that's going to be in Tempe, 400 East Lemon, room BAC 201, and that's Monday, February 25th, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And she'll probably have her book there. She has a book
She has
or
a
two.
book.
So she'll probably sign it if you buy a book. Her
Those-
story is fantastic. She went through the Clinton era.
Survived it.
Irene Gomez was asking about proxies in the GOP, but that's a whole different.
Let me make a comment about that, George.
Okay,
I at the state meeting,
because she was like curious about it.
I'm a person that I write down stuff. I write down stuff.
That's good.
And what we did is in the past we had been voting electronically. And we did not vote electronically. So basically what we did is in our districts we divided up, like us, we had, I think there were 9 of us state committeemen. And each district got up and said, you know, we have 3 votes for Kelly Ward, 4 votes for Chairman Lyons, and blah, blah, blah. And so we did it like that. They collected the votes and then we presented them at the meeting. Well, what was kind of interesting when I did that, I'm not going to go through every district, but I kept like the number of votes that this different district has. Now, we have a deal with the proxies. George and I, we're not big fans, okay? Now, sometimes you can't go, but for, somebody gets sick, so you could take a proxy. And I don't have a problem if you want to do one or two proxies. But we have what I call proxy kings and queens where they go and they take like 8 or 9 of them.
And they sign people up to be PCs. I have to say this. They sign people up to be PCs,
Precinct committeeman.
precinct committeemen in their precinct, with no intention on that person being involved in the Republican Party. They say that the people are making phone calls for the party, that they're volunteering in other ways. But
But you never
as
see
a
them.
chairman, if you don't see that person or those people that are in that precinct, if you don't see them in 4 years, they're ghost PCs as far as I'm concerned. And they shouldn't be precinct committeemen because I know what the intention is. That person that's picking up those signatures wants to go into these state meetings and have 9 votes, 6 votes. And they know who I'm talking about, so it's not no big secret. And I believe one person should have 1 vote. That's the American way. That's the Constitution way. Every precinct committeeman should have 1 vote. Now, if you're sick and you live in that precinct, or you have an emergency in your family, you can't go to that meeting, or you live out in the Pinal County or something, and it's too far for you to drive. I understand those, and I understand if you're sick and you live in Maricopa County and you have to not be able to go, and you're going to give your power of attorney, your voting
Proxy.
your proxy to your precinct person. That's okay.
You do have extenuating circumstances.
I understand
sometimes.
that. But for a person to sign up ghost PCs, I call them ghost PCs because I've never seen them. And they at every election that we have, they vote because that person brings in all those proxies. And at our state meetings, here's that person with about 10 proxies, 5 proxies, 6 proxies, 7 proxies. And they do it all the time.
Well, and
It's gotta
let's also
stop.
explain too. So let's say I bring a proxy. What that means is I have the power to vote for that person. So let's say I take George's proxy. We're not in the same district, but let's just, for example, he's trusting me to vote how he would want to vote.
Right.
But that person, they're going to vote the way they want to vote. I doubt that they're going to call and say, okay, now you're going to vote so-and-so, or do you want me to vote so-and-so?
There's no
Probably
way to
not.
verify how you're voting if you're not there.
They just,
You can
It-
make a
it-
decision for that
I'm
person.
okay if they want, 1 or 2 proxies, maybe, because
Right.
it's then certain. But
But
man, we have
5 or
limits.
6 or 10?
I think there needs to be a limit.
And like I said, I understand places that are far out, Mojave County or something, where the chairman brings a bunch of proxies in, or some of his precinct committeemen bring in more proxies than you would see. But I understand that because they live way out there. The people here in Maricopa County, the largest county that we have, and you see chairman or you see precinct committeemen bringing in 12, 20 proxies, it's not right. And that's what's happening. It's happened over the years. It's just got to be some change to it. I'm glad you asked that question, Irene Gomez, and I hope we answered a little bit of it. And maybe in the future we'll bring some changes. It has to be changed by the state bylaws, by the state statute, by then the state GOP has to change their bylaws, put that in their bylaws, and each legislative district has to put it in their bylaws. That the person has to attend a meeting or 2 or 3 meetings a year, or 6 meetings. You got to be involved in the party. To be a precinct committeeman in name only, in paper only, that's not right.
And paper only, I like that.
In paper only, that's what
You
they
know what?
are.
That'd be a people or a pipo.
I
Yeah,
see
paper
on
only.
paper people.
But yeah,
So,
pipo
I hope we answered that question, and we're going to try. I mean, it's hard to change the status quo because these people they've gotten power in the party using that proxy
Well, I
thing.
want to
It's
give
a
you like
comfortable
just
system.
an example. So I think this is Graham County. I kind of kept track, and you had, it looked like 3 people came and you had 27 proxies. Okay,
Wow.
Graham County, you know what, they're not right close, but that's a lot. That means that's a lot of proxies that people were carrying. We had about 1,234 people and a big chunk, and I don't know if I should give all these figures out because it's public, so, you know, it was our meeting.
Oh, they could
But
find
It
out.
can be looked up.
You know,
on the website.
How many
we had
proxies?
450 proxies and
Wow.
784 people there live. That's a big chunk. That's a big chunk of the vote.
And you can see the Maricopa LDs, there are a lot of LDs that have a lot of proxies.
And they live in Maricopa.
And they live here in Maricopa.
Now,
That's
I'm
what-
proud to say, LD 27, where I'm from, we had 9 state committeemen and we had 9 people there. We all showed up, which, you know, I mean, we're smaller, so okay, it's good. Yours is what, George? You're 19? Oh, man, I they were saying it so fast, I missed 19, I'm so sorry.
Well, 19 had about 9, and all 9 were, they
They all
all,
showed up?
Oh, I can
no,
tell
no,
you.
they didn't show
Oh,
up.
they're all proxies?
Most of them were proxies. Yeah.
Let me see, or you're 19, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 19, oh, I don't have the proxies here.
Well, there were,
We had 14, you guys
I
had
think we
11.
only had,
Mine's 18.
11.
What did 18 have?
we had
18
11.
have, you guys had a lot, look, 14 plus 12 plus 23. Let's see if I can find that. Where's my 18? Here's 18 down here. You had 39 and you had 10 proxies. That's not bad.
Yeah, we just, what we've got to do is just come together as a party and quit this playing games and make the people trust in the system. The system now is a little bit broken when it comes to the voting and this proxy business. And hopefully it'll get straightened out and every LD will have people attending meetings. It's good for the LD because you have people attending your meetings. You only have like 5 people attending a meeting. You have 27 precinct committeemen, and half of them are proxies. You never see them, you know. And every LD has to take care of business.
So
And
that's our goal for 2019. Okay, so we got 20 minutes left. We have a lot of topics to hit. We have to talk about the abortion legislation.
this is getting
Oh,
ridiculous with
my.
abortion.
This
With
is this is just
they
going
want-
back worse.
They want to abort a baby at
Right?
at
Right up to
and
before the
birth.
delivery. That was New York.
And
But
and
now
they were
you
talking
have
about, okay,
Virginia.
I understand that there's certain times when you have to abort a fetus when it's
Well, it's the first trimester. That's both fetus.
well, no, when it's actually a harm, when it's gonna, maybe the mom's life is in danger, or it's a I don't know, maybe it's
Well, what we're
born-
talking here, bottom line, not to do that, but we're running out of time here, is, as Lydia said, they had, it was Virginia, and it was the legislator that was up at the microphone, right?
It was Governor Northam, Ralph
Northam
Northam,
was there too.
who was in a radio program broadcast and had talked about the proposed law, but it was prevented from passing by one Republican vote in the Virginia legislature. If you can believe this, one vote stopped that bill from becoming law because he would have signed it.
He would have signed it.
And what it was is that the bill would have essentially, once after the baby's born, it would be 2 physicians and then the mother's physician, primary care physician, the OB/GYN, and the mother for the individual making a decision of rather to allow the baby to live.
Because he said it could be, it'll be
It
resuscitated.
will be in a comfortable environment, and then a decision will be made.
In other words,
What do you mean a
we're gonna
decision
decide to
will be
kill it
made?
or
The
not.
child's already born. The baby's already born out of the womb, and you're gonna decide whether to terminate the child after it's come out of the womb. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
it
from
was unbelievable
Governor
to watch.
in New York, or they already passed that in New York, and they
No, they
celebrated it.
barely, well,
But
no,
that
that's
was
Virginia,
New,
you're right, that's
that's
Virginia.
Virginia, that was Governor Northam, and then New York,
Had already
Governor
passed.
Cuomo actually did sign into legislation
And
about
isn't
the
he a
bill.
Catholic?
Yeah,
He
and they
is.
were clapping.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
and then
pretty
the
bad.
thing is, I can see in certain circumstances, but once you pass a law like that, it's abused. It just gets anybody can have.
That's
an
too
abortion.
far. That's too far. The baby is, already we have babies that are 4 or 5 months preemies, and they exist. they
Right.
survive.
I was a preemie.
Oh, you're a preemie,
I'm,
really?
I'm a
Oh.
February baby, but I was supposed to be born in March.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was a preemie. I was born a month early.
You look good to me.
I have all my 10 fingers and toes, and
I mean, you'd be at
it's
risk.
fine. Yeah, I'd be at risk.
I posted, I can't remember if I did it this last week or the week before, but it's the gal who was born during the 70s, and they had just passed Roe versus Wade. Did you see that?
I heard about that.
So this gal, and it's a repost,
Right.
you know how they come up in your Facebook, and she said at that time, and I know about this because they came, I was like in 10th grade, and Planned Parenthood came and they told us, oh, it's really, it's very easy. We do a saline solution, kind of like the baby dissolves, it's real soft and gentle. Anyways, that's how her mother was going to abort her biological mother. She said, my parents were 17 years old. But what happened the next day when they went in to remove the baby's body, she hadn't died. So she survived.
Wow.
So she tells her survivor story, and she ends up getting cerebral palsy, I think it is, which is because when you deprive oxygen to the brain,
Right.
that happens. So
Right.
at this point, she's in her 40s, and she's addressing people, and she says, well, I survived, with a little bit of a limp. But I mean, it's such a powerful story.
Right.
It's
To have-
incredible
to
and
be
amazing.
to survive essentially a botched abortion, the baby surviving a botched abortion.
And she said, thank God when her mother went back to do that, the doctor that was to abort her wasn't there. So the nurse called 911 or whatever it was at that time, and the baby
So
was
the
saved.
nurse essentially saved her life.
Yeah. And then years later, she was adopted out. Oh, so this is the other part of the story. So she's adopted out, and her adopted mother, the doctor says, well, you know what? She's just in really bad shape. She's not going to get any better than she is. But her adopted mother worked with her, and she became she's a very beautiful young woman, what I saw. And it's a wonderful, wonderful story. She meets her mother later on, her biological mother, and she says, I forgive her, it's a beautiful, if you can, I'll try to repost it, but I think I posted on the Chips and Salsa site and my site, or just YouTube. You can YouTube it. Sorry, but I'm not remembering the gal's name. But stories like that. George has, I don't even know if you know George's story,
Yeah.
too. George has a little story about his son.
Yeah. I was young, and abortion to me didn't mean anything at that, when I was that young. And it's like, I didn't want another child, but it wasn't until she started developing, and my wife she didn't want to do it, but she would have aborted my son if I would have asked her to, and I changed my mind, and I thank God that I did, because my son is 25, and I wouldn't have had my son. But when you're young and people are saying, just you're not thinking what they go through. I learned a lot over the years, and I would never ever do that, even think about doing that.
Yeah, can you imagine your life without Georgie?
Oh,
No
my life.
Show me pictures of his son in uniform. He looks so
I'm so
handsome.
proud of him, and he's
Salute, Georgie.
and I got two beautiful daughters, and but when you're young, and especially in California, it's like, yeah, abortion, blah blah blah, just get an abortion. And when you're young and you're a guy, you don't think about.
It's not a concept to you until you actually see pictures of the baby.
Right.
It's like a sonogram picture.
I see now,
You see
and
the
it's like
visual.
that's the
Yeah.
cruelest thing they could do.
And there's actually like studies done of when the father, for minutes, it's very physical, the contact. That when they hold the baby and they put the
Oh,
baby on
man.
the chest, it's that bond that's
When
developed as soon
When
as they're
Georgie
ready.
was a baby, and he just used
It's
to sleep
so
with me and everything, it was like,
touching.
oh, it's the most beautiful, beautiful thing, and I can't even imagine what would have happened if I had her abort Georgie. All those years, he's 25 years old now, and all those years I would have missed that in my life. And I thank God that something made me say, you know what, this
What do you
happened.
think it was, George? Was it your faith, or what made you say, you know what, we better have
Well,
this baby?
I'm Roman Catholic, and so part of it was my faith that made me, change
Think
my
again.
mind. And because she would have done it, she didn't want to do it.
She didn't want to.
Mm.
But she would have done it because we were in love, and it's like hey. But I think everybody should just, if you have a child or if you in a relationship, think before you commit to having sex or whatever. Uh, every man should be responsible because if a lady does get pregnant, if your girlfriend gets pregnant, it's a decision you have to make, and you should. I mean, that's a precious life. They're so precious. I've seen the different stages that a woman goes through, and um, it is fantastic. It's like it's a growing child in there. You don't think about that when you're young and just like oh, I don't want a child. Well, it's weird. It's weird.
We want to say hi to Jose Diaz. He's from Dallas, Texas. Love you all, guys, and thank you all for what you're all doing. Hey, we love you, Jose. Thank you for tuning in. And he says, God is the only one to make that decision, not in 9 months.
It's a killer.
It's a killer.
You're killing a child. You're killing the baby. What is that?
Jose, remember our friend Luis Rodriguez? He's a big pro-life guy, and he puts it very basic. It's the taking of an innocent life. Because a lot of people say, well, I feel capital punishment. Well, capital punishment, it's a different story.
Yeah.
This is an innocent life that they didn't, they're just born.
And it kind of really, all life is precious, but that really kind of annoys me because the parallel shouldn't be there.
It's not.
It's not a
You are right.
comparison. And again, I want to emphasize, if you're Roman Catholic, if you believe in God, I'm a Protestant, I'm a Baptist, but I believe in God, and all life is precious. But there's not a comparison. Capital punishment is punishment, whether you want to agree with it or not. It's a form of punishment that society inflicts on people that have committed heinous
And it's very
crimes.
hard.
It is very difficult to even be. First of all, the appeals, the process is
Right. It takes
years
a
and
long
years.
time.
And there is very difficult criteria to meet to even get the death penalty.
That little baby doesn't have the 20
And
years.
there's right,
They
and
go
the
through.
baby's forming in the woman's womb. The gestation period is evolving. So this is
I
a
showed
baby
pictures.
that's not
I showed-
even yet to be.
I showed pictures. They have an ultrasound that they have with a picture of the baby inside, and it's moving around, and you can see all the fingers and everything. He's going like
Everything's
this, and
developing.
adjusting his hands and his feet. It
It's
is so
developing.
precious to see
The
that.
baby's slowly
And,
developing in the womb.
We know so much now too with science. Because that's why a lot of people, they don't want you to see the ultrasound.
And that's
They do operations on babies in
Right.
the womb.
And
There's
that's
so much
actually
to do.
why a lot of younger people, millennials and myself, Gen Xer, we see that because the technology is there to see everything that George sees when he saw his son being developed. Everything's there. So the technology has allowed people to have a different perspective or to change the perspective on abortion. Whether you have a pro-choice or not pro-life before, your perspective has changed or evolved.
As my wife got bigger in the months, then you can start feeling the baby move, and there's somebody in there, moving around. I'm glad I made the decision not to even, contemplate that, but I'm so blessed to have my son, and actually he was born in the house because we didn't make it to the hospital because she said my water broke, and I got the kids, put them in the car.
This is a good story too.
And by the time I ran back in the house, she was like, "It's too late.
Oh my goodness.
I feel it coming." So I just took her into the bedroom,
And she,
and before she even got on the bed, it just plopped right out on the floor. And of course, no umbilical cord. I guess I was lucky on there. The umbilical cord broke when it came out, and I'm holding the baby in my hand.
wow.
And she's already gotten in the bed. She's turning purple. The baby's turning purple. And I'm on with 911 on the phone, and they said, "Stick your finger in his mouth." And I stuck my finger in his mouth. All I could do was feel his little tongue, and I didn't know what to do. And my mom said I should have just sucked this stuff out from his mouth. But she said the paramedics are right at your door now. And sure enough, they all came into the bedroom. They took little Georgie and they squished him the little squisher out and got him to breathe. And the firemen did not Well, the paramedic did not release Georgie until we got to the hospital. He handed her to the nurse. And my wife, they took care of her. And people that bought the house afterwards, they thought somebody had died. They said that spot never came out. They said, did somebody die in there? But that was Georgie.
Warm.
That was Georgie.
Life came from
It
there.
was not a death, it was a
Hey,
birth.
this is a little bit of a departure, but I don't want to forget to mention, you were talking about the firefighters, the paramedics rather, but in the city of Phoenix, we are having a city of Phoenix mayoral election, city council too, and we have 2 candidates running. Now, don't have a Republican in the race, unfortunately, but that's okay, this is nonpartisan. And one of the candidates is Danny Valenzuela, who was a firefighter, and that's who I'm gonna vote for. Let's just say that, because I don't, we have Kate Gallego is running and Danny's running,
And no one else may
and
vote for Kate. So vote for him.
you don't live in Phoenix, huh?
No.
And you live in Tempe, so I'm the only Phoenician. But I just want to throw that in there because early voting is gonna start soon, because I think the election is March 6th and doesn't start like 30 days before. So I just want to throw that out there. Also, District 8, I don't even know who I'm gonna vote for yet. I'm very embarrassed to say that, but we have a lot of candidates in District 8, and I'm gonna do some research and see what I can come up with. Okay, so we're down to our last 5 minutes. What do you want to talk about? We didn't even get to do the cocotazos, polar vortex. Oh my gosh! Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
see
I
that
saw that.
picture in today's paper?
They said you could actually, in Chicago, you could throw hot water up in the air and it just vaporizes.
Freeze up
It's
We're
vaporizes.
sending you warmth.
Well,
We're
they're
sending you
showing
warmth.
the train has to be on, the train tracks have to be set on fire because
Wow.
the train will
Yeah.
freeze up on the train
Oh,
tracks. So they actually
my.
It's
have
pretty
like
cold
places
out there.
where there's actually fire
Did I hear
being
right?
put on parts of the.
I think my boss told me the high for Chicago today was going to be 0.
It's
No.
negative. It's the negatives.
I-
It's like
Oh
negative
my
I've been
12.
I've been listening to the Bible, the Old Testament, and some of the plagues that God sent to
So you
the
have it on a
Egyptian.
book on tape, whatever.
Yeah, and I listened to it, and it sounds like God is pissed off. I mean,
Can you
I don't
blame
think this
them?
extreme weather is
and
gonna go on.
I mean, they did the abortion thing over in New York, and I mean, guys,
Dear Lord.
we have God watching us. If He shoots something your way, can't say that like if you're living in a state that's turned into Sodom and Gomorrah, you better
Yeah,
watch
it's
out.
just
You might-
really frightening how scary things have gotten.
but anyway,
It is scary. I'll
that's
tell you
just
one more other
that's
scary
just the
thing.
weather, and it's going to get better. So it's not.
And we're keeping it
biblical-
warm.
It's not biblical things, but I mean, I've been listening to the Old Testament, and there's some things in there that are kind of.
Now I know why those snowbirds come down over here.
Oh yeah, we'll get more
Goodness.
now. We'll get more now because they had a cold winter. But
Look
another
at-
scary
look at
thing
Illinois.
that I want to talk about too real quick is the FBI and Stone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, America. Wow.
They shouldn't have. I mean, okay.
27 FBI
All it
agents.
took was just a couple to go to the door and arrest him.
39.
They got 29 FBI agents, 9 vehicles,
They were all armed.
and
80.
CNN, and then CNN.
CNN happens to be right there.
And
They happen to
CNN
be
is
right
conveniently there.
Fake news just happened to be right there to make it unfake, but
Oh
people
my gosh.
believe in what our president is doing, have faith in what he's doing. He's being led by God's hands.
Well,
he
if
loves
people
his
don't
country.
believe that the deep state is somewhat of a
Exists.
threat to our freedoms, I mean, what they did to Roger Stone, and he's a political operative. It's pretty scary.
Well, our good friend Jeff Prather. And Jeff, by the way, I'm going to make a plug for his show. He's on Sundays at 4 p.m. I don't know if he's going to start giving us a Prather point again. He's really busy, but he's on KVOI, I believe, in Tucson, 4 p.m. Sundays. And he was always saying that the FBI is the KGB. And unfortunately, boy, it sure looked like it.
Yeah,
With Roger Stone, I'm like, my gosh.
it's actually
And,
frightening.
And it's, when you say deep state, it's not only deep state in Washington, but we have a deep state here in Arizona. We got to clean up our house, and that's what our chairwoman is doing. And we got to come together as a party. So I see Jose Diaz is having salsa, barbecue, olives, and he's in Dallas, Texas. I hope you enjoy it. Your
Sounds
chips and salsa.
I want to know if you have an accent like Dallas. I'd like to go visit Dallas. I like that. Well, you're from Texas.
Yeah, but I never
never
was
got that
raised with,
Texas
I never had a Texas accent.
In Dallas, I know whenever I go visit, I have a couple of nephews there.
There's,
They're so nice.
Guido
People are
Gomez
so
are
is
great.
watching.
And Guido, hey Guido, thank you for
Guido
watching. Yeah, from
Yeah.
Lordsburg, New Mexico. Oh, I ratted
We
you
got a
down.
lot of people out of the state of Arizona that watch this program. Thank you for watching the programs. Thank you for being chipsters. We're here every Thursday at 7 p.m. and we're on YouTube. You go to YouTube, you can watch the whole show on YouTube and the replays. You can watch it, everything you missed. And when we do, we start taping earlier on YouTube, so you'll see behind the scenes stuff. And then on Facebook, of course, we're on Facebook. You can watch it. Have your friends watch it. If they missed it, or if they haven't seen it, just tell them to go to Facebook or tell them to go to YouTube on conservative.
Conservative talk or conservative salsa.
Yeah,
And before we sign
conservative
off,
salsa.
too, I want to give our incredible intern Armin has been with us the last couple of shows. I think he's going to return. We'll find out. People are just really busy, and we're grateful for any help that they can give us. But also our producer, she's always kind of behind the scenes, helping us get things up technically and everything. And we're gonna get back into doing the cocotazos and the whole enchiladas. We had some good ones. Just go to our Facebook site and you'll see them.
You'll
That's
see
our
that
keeping list.
our good first place is always Nancy Pelosi.
Your girlfriend, Nancy Pelosi.
It's Nancy Pelosi, and now we got the little socialist from New York. What's her name?
Ocasio-Cortez.
Ocasio.
AOC.
She
Oh my goodness.
she is so dunce. I mean, she doesn't. I mean,
I almost feel sorry for her.
I wish she would
I
run for
think she's
president.
pretty much manipulated by people behind the scenes in the Democratic
like her to
Party.
run for
I don't
president.
think she really.
She might run.
I don't think she realizes. Well,
The
she's
guy
29.
that does the coffee, he's running.
Howard
as an-
Schultz.
Yeah, he's running as an
They've
independent.
already gotten
And they're
mad at
already
him.
Oh, they're mad at him, boy.
Yeah, because they think that he might split the
They're seeing him as
Democratic
too
vote.
moderate.
But he tells the truth. He said this.
Well, he's worried about the $21 trillion debt. I mean,
And we all should
as
be
a-
worried
as
about.
a-
I'm worried about that
As
too.
a billionaire,
Mhm.
that's something that he should be worried about.
Okay, so what have we missed, guys? Our last minute down here. Oh, there was a big drug bust too.
Oh
See
yeah,
that?
here in Arizona.
All that
Was that,
fentanyl
that was in Nogales, right?
and Nogales. Huge, but there's no crisis on the border.
Well, of
That's
course
not a problem.
And bus loads are still on their way.
They found all the drugs underneath the, what was it, load of cucumbers? They were sneaking it through produce.
And,
So it's pretty brazen to sneak in all the drugs under produce. As it was buried underneath.
Wow.
And they have more caravans on their way.
It's 3 caravans coming.
Big ones too, and
Again, no crisis on the border.
But it's-
Venezuela is, oh my goodness.
they're sparking for revolt
Well,
there.
Colombia is having a problem because there's a lot of people from Venezuela fleeing to
They're
Colombia.
having their own
They're having
migration
their own
problems.
problems going to Colombia.
I
But
don't
there's
know.
no emergency. Nothing to see here, people.
So we
That's what
invite,
Nancy Pelosi says.
yeah, and oh, there was a letter too, and I printed it out. I don't have time to read it now, but it was into the Border Patrol wives, and they invite Nancy Pelosi, your girlfriend, to come visit. Come on
Visit-
down and check
Visit
it
the
out.
border.
Come on down and check
I
it
doubt
out.
that'll happen. She doesn't meet with the angel moms.
Yeah.
What was it, the angel
Is it the
moms?
angel moms?
Yeah. The families
The
of
angel
the
moms.
people that have been killed.
Yeah,
by
she didn't
the
want to meet with them.
in her own district in California.
Pretty sad, pretty sad. So I think we're gonna sign off. Anything, did we get all the announcements out of the way?
Yes, and
Lydia's still looking for work, so, we got something for her.
yeah, we got a good
I mean, she's working.
person that can work on campaigns and stuff, and
Campaign work, consulting work.
Hours.
consulting work as an analyst. Hey, we're
I'll call you.
getting her used to the people out there.
Next Thursday, I don't know that we have, do we have anybody booked for next Thursday? I don't think so yet.
State of the Union is next Tuesday.
Tuesday? Okay.
Tuesday.
Oh, it is Tuesday.
Yeah, they haven't.
The State of the Union
Yes,
is
it was
next
postponed
Tuesday on the 5th.
This past week, but it's
So
coming
don't
next.
miss that. Make sure you watch that.
So we can talk about that.
We love you, Jose Diaz.
Maybe Kelly Ward will
tuned.
come on Thursday. We'll see. Kelly, would you like to come on? I mean, she
Come
is.
on
she's-
down. She has a lot to talk about. She has a lot to tell people. So she'll steal the whole hour. So
And thank you very much, those of you who are watching us on Facebook and comment. We appreciate that very much.
and this show is for you. The show is to just to,
Busting the myth. We are Latinos, we are Republican, we are conservative. We're not gonna apologize for it.
and we want to tell you what's happening. And I'm wearing the shirt for Janet Jackson for Kids Foundation. I'll be helping her out, and we're going to try to get the Dodgers out here to meet with some kids.
Can you get some on the show too?
I
George.
might broadcast from one of the sites because we're talking. They've already come twice. They're really involved with the Janet Jackson for Kids Foundation, and they're trying to get the Cardinals involved. So I'll update you as soon as I find out more, and
Great.
we'll wherever the location is, we'll do a broadcast from
Yeah,
that
we can do a
location,
broadcast from where they're
and
at.
it'll be a good show.
Contact us if you have any suggestions through Facebook or just email me,
If you want to
Alice
sponsor
at
the show, if you want to be a
chipsletterandsalsashow.com.
sponsor for the
Excuse me,
show,
that's Alice at chipsletterandsalsashow.com.
and if you want to sponsor the show, contact Alice. We could use more sponsors. And if you want to be a guest on our show, like she said, contact Alice. Everything
Alright.
goes through Alice.
Okay, so thank you, Lydia, for being on. Next week you won't be with us.
I won't be here next week.
Okay, well, we'll miss you. Hopefully Sid will be back.
So you're gonna be
Say
at
some
that
prayers for
thing?
Sid. We'll let you know how he's doing. If he's okay, I'm sure he's fine. Just car accidents are messy, yucky. And so we'll see you next Thursday, 7 p.m. here on the Chips and Salsa Show. Thank you so much, and walk on. It's gonna take us a few seconds to sign off, so you can see us putting around. That's what we're doing. Okay, thanks.
Yep. So,
All right, so I'm gonna remove this here, guys.
that was a good show. And everybody, Alice is playing with her phone or whatever.
This is not a bad little thing.
Yeah, I like that. And I'm gonna get up and do something with YouTube here.
The only thing that we didn't do is, and I don't know why my tablet won't let me. I think I have to put the app on my tablet. So once the show's playing,
Mhm.
what George and I like to go is share it everywhere, so that way more people can watch it.